Namaste students, welcome to Statistics class. We are discussing about statistical inference, and yesterday's session we have seen introduction part of statistical inference. There we have seen what you mean by population, what is sample and what is sampling distribution, then some of the formulas regarding standard errors. There we have seen the formulas regarding sample mean, then we have seen the difference of sample mean. Then we have seen population proportion P, then difference of population proportion. And in case of difference of population proportion, there was two formulas. One where P1 and P2 is equal to P, and one more formula where P1 and P2 are not equal. And what we discussed yesterday, from that we can expect 1 mark question, theory question, as well as 2 marks problems from the table. There was a table regarding some of the formulas. Those formulas may come for 1 marks as a question, and those problems may come for 2 marks. Now, in today's session, we will discuss some other theory part regarding statistical inference. Now here, we will see what you mean by statistical inference. It is the theory of making decision about the population parameters. It is the theory of making decision about the population parameters using the concept of probability and sampling. What are those population parameters? Population parameters are mu and as well as sigma. These two are population parameter. So in this particular chapter, we are discussing about how to make decisions about these parameters by taking the concept of probability. Now, in case of statistical inference, it has two branches, that is estimation and testing of hypothesis. And estimation is a method of obtaining most likely value of the population parameter. Most likely value is nothing but the nearest value of the population parameter. Estimation is nothing but we are estimating the most likely value of the population parameter, most likely value of these two population parameter using a statistic. What is statistic? Statistic is nothing but a function. It may be a mean or it may be a standard deviation. These we call it as statistic. Mu and sigma are the parameter. In order to get the value of these two parameters, what function we use there, those function we call it as statistics. Those functions are mean, that is x bar, and standard deviation. So it is a method of obtaining most likely value of the population parameter, the unknown value of population parameter using a function called statistic, using the different functions, that is mean and standard deviation. Then the other branch is testing of hypothesis. Other one is testing of hypothesis. So firstly we will discuss what is there in case of estimation. Then we will move towards the testing of hypothesis. Now, in case of estimation, it further divided into two types, that is point estimation and interval estimation. Point estimation is if a single value is proposed as an estimate. Single value is proposed as an estimate. What do you mean by estimate? Estimate is nothing but value. Estimate is nothing but value. If a single value is proposed as an estimate of the unknown parameter, then we call it as point estimation. For example, the mean marks of 100 students. Mean marks of 100 students is 86. Mean marks of 100 students is 86. So this is our point estimation. If we propose single value as an estimate, that we call it as point estimation. Then interval estimation. If an interval is proposed as an estimate is nothing but value. If an interval is proposed as an estimate of the unknown parameter, then we call it as interval estimation. If we take this same example, the mean marks of 100 students is between 60 to 80. The mean marks of 100 students between 60 to 80. This we call it as interval estimation. Means where we propose or where we put forward an interval, where we put forward in order to get the value of unknown parameter, that we call it as interval estimation. And in this case, in case of first example, here we have taken a single value. Here we have taken a single value in order to get the value of unknown parameter, where a single value is proposed as a value of unknown parameter, that we call it as point estimation. If we proposed means if we put forward an interval, then we call it as interval estimation. So here statistical inference, it has two branches. The first one comes their estimation, then comes their testing of hypothesis. Then in case of estimation, if we propose single value as estimate, then we call it as point estimation. We call it as point estimation. If we propose their interval, then we call it as interval estimation. The next one, statistical hypothesis. As I said, there we have two branches, estimation and testing of hypothesis. About estimation, you have possible question, which are the branches of, here one possible question, which are the branches of statistical inference. Branches are two, that is estimation and testing of hypothesis. Then further one more expected question, what do you mean by estimation, which are the two types. What do you mean by estimation, which are the two types? Two types are point estimation and interval estimation. Or else for 2 marks, what is point estimation and what is interval estimation? That possibilities are there. And here the second branch of statistical inference, that is statistical hypothesis. In this particular chapter, we are discussing about statistical hypothesis. So here, what do you mean by hypothesis? Hypothesis is nothing but just you are framing a statement. It is a statement regarding the parameters of the population. The parameters, as I said, the mu and sigma, these are the population parameters. You are framing statement regarding these two parameters, and this statistical hypothesis is denoted by capital letter H. And in case of statistical hypothesis, these hypotheses are divided into two categories, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis as well as alternative hypothesis. We'll discuss further what is null hypothesis and what is alternative hypothesis. Now, as I said, in case of statistical hypothesis, there are two kinds of hypothesis, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis, it is a statement and it is being tested for the purpose of rejection. It is a statement and it is being tested for the purpose of rejection, and it is denoted by H0. Null hypothesis, it is denoted by H0. And alternative hypothesis, even alternative hypothesis is also the statement regarding population parameter, but alternative hypothesis is accepted when your null hypothesis is rejected. And it is alternative hypothesis, it is complementary to the null hypothesis. And alternative hypotheses are divided into, there are two kinds of alternative hypothesis, that is left tail and right tail. It is left tail and right tail. Now, for example, as I said, null hypothesis, it is statement is set for the purpose of rejection. For example, a particular drug is there. We need to check whether that drug is effective or not effective. Now, how to set the null hypothesis? H0 we set as a particular drug is not effective. Drug is not effective. That is H0. And how to set alternative? As I said, alternative hypothesis, these are complementary to the null hypothesis. If this hypothesis, if we reject null hypothesis, then we need to accept the alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is denoted by H1. Alternative hypothesis is denoted by capital letter H1. How to set the drug is not effective? We set as null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, particular drug is effective. Particular drug is effective. This is a normal alternative hypothesis. In case of alternative hypothesis, as I said, there is a left tail as well as a right tail. If we want to set either left tail or right tail means a particular drug is lesser than some particular effectiveness we will write as lesser than, for example, 75%. Lesser than, if it comes, that we call it as left tail, and right tail means a particular drug is effective more than 75%. So this is the way of setting alternative hypothesis. In case of alternative hypothesis, either this, the direct alternative hypothesis, or else lesser than, or else more than. It cannot be all three. Either this, or less than, or more than. Means either like left tail, right tail, or else equal. Right tail, left tail, or else equal. So we cannot set all three as alternative hypothesis. Out of these three, any one we need to set along with the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis, this statement is set for the purpose of rejection, mostly for the purpose of rejection. After conducting particular experiment or anything, then we need to see whether it is effective or not. If we found that particular drug is effective means, yes, particular drug is effective. What we set alternative hypothesis, it is true. But null hypothesis, it is not true. We set null hypothesis as particular drug is not effective. After conducting test, if we get particular drug is effective means, we set null hypothesis as it is not effective. So we need to reject this. Now if we reject, which statement we need to accept? This statement we need to accept. Particular drug is effective because we got same conclusion from the experiment. So we expect drug is effective. So if in case after conducting test we get a conclusion that particular drug is not effective. Not effective means we need to accept null hypothesis because we have got the same conclusion from particular test. Then we reject the alternative hypothesis. As I said, alternative hypothesis, it cannot be all these three, either the first one or else the left tail or else right tail. So this is about hypothesis, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. And it is very, very important what you mean by hypothesis and which are the two types of hypothesis and what is null and what is alternative hypothesis. Then here there are some of the errors in case of testing of hypothesis. While testing hypothesis, we get some of the errors, and those errors are type 1 error, and type 2 error. Type 1 error and type 2 error. What is this type 1 and type 2 error? Type 1 error is rejecting null hypothesis, that is H0, rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true. This is the one kind of error which we do while testing the hypothesis. We reject the null hypothesis. We reject this null hypothesis, but actually it is true, but we reject the null hypothesis. So this is the type 1 error, and type 2 errors are accepting the null hypothesis when it is actually not true. So there are two kinds of errors. that is type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 error is rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true, and type 2 error accepting the null hypothesis when it is not actually true. Means in first case we accept this null hypothesis, but it is actually false, it is not true. But we reject the null hypothesis when it is actually true. That is the type 1 error. In case of type 2 error, we accept this null hypothesis. What statement we said? We accept that null hypothesis, but actually it is not true. So these are the two kinds of errors which we commit while testing the hypothesis. Then there are some other terms related to this particular errors, that is size of the test. What is that size of the test? It is probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true. Probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true, that we call it as size of the test. Size of the test in simple sense it is nothing but what is the probability of committing the type 1 error. It is the probability of committing the type 1 error, and one more is there, that is power of test. Then what is that power of test? It is the probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is not true. Here size of the test is probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true. It means the probability of committing, what is the probability of committing type 1 error. And power of test means it is the probability of rejecting. There also we reject the null hypothesis, but it is not true. When it is not true, we reject the null hypothesis. That we call it as power of test. And one more, the last term, that is level of significance. Level of significance is denoted by a Greek letter alpha. What do you mean by level of significance? Level of significance is nothing but a maximum number of size of the test. A maximum size of the test is called as maximum size of test. The maximum size of test is called as level of significance. Maximum size of test means what is the number of probability? Of committing type 1 error. So there are two kinds of errors, that is type 1 error and type 2 error. Type 1 error is rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true, and type 2 error accepting null hypothesis when it is actually not true. And then comes the size of the test. It is the probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is actually true, and power of test, probability of rejecting null hypothesis when it is not true. Then comes the level of significance. It is the maximum number of size of the test. So as a theory part, we discussed today what is statistical inference. Statistical inference is nothing but making decision about population parameters, having the concept of sampling and probability, and it has two branches, that is estimation and testing of hypothesis. And we discussed about estimation, and in case of estimation there are two kinds of estimation, that is point estimation and interval estimation. Point estimation is nothing but where we propose a single value in order to estimate the unknown value of parameter, and interval estimation where we propose a particular interval in order to estimate the value. Then we move towards the statistical testing of hypothesis. In case of testing of hypothesis, there what do you mean by hypothesis? Hypothesis is nothing but framing statement regarding the population parameter and is denoted by capital letter H. Then in case of hypothesis, there are two kinds of hypothesis, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. And in case of alternative hypothesis, there is one-tailed and two-tailed. One-tailed and two-tailed is there. This particular what we said, it is called as one-tailed. Two-tailed means that is left and right tail. Then we come towards the errors which we commit while testing the hypothesis, that is type 1 and type 2 error. And we have seen what is size of test, power of test and level of significance. And these all questions, these are possible questions for 1 marks or 2 marks. These are very important as a theory questions, 1 or 2 marks. Nextly, we will discuss which are the different units are there in statistical inference. Now, in case of statistical inference, as I said, this particular chapter is divided into 4 units. First unit which we discussed about the theory topic, what we completed so far, that is from yesterday's session to today's session, what are the theory questions are there, that was the first unit. And from second unit onwards, you will get the problems. And these problems are not like how you used to do the previous what chapters problems or what you have done other chapters. That it is not such kind of problems. These problems are slightly different from other problems. Now here next comes, that is the second unit, that is the B, that is large sample test. First we are going to study about what is large sample test. Large sample test. The test based on large samples, that is where large sample test means where your n is greater than or equal to 30. This is large sample test, or we call this particular test as normal test. Large sample test or normal test. Then next comes next unit. This we call as second unit, but this second unit further divided into 4 types. The second unit further you will get 4 kinds of problem in case of large sample test. After completing that 4 kinds of problem, there comes next unit, that is C, that is small samples test. Small sample test where your n is lesser than 30. And this small sample test we also call it as T test. We also call it as T test, which you have studied in the previous chapter. 5th chapter you have studied normal distribution and also T distribution. Now next one, the last unit in this particular chapter, D, that is chi-square test. Chi-square test. So here further we are studying 3 units. There comes first one, large sample test or normal test, where your sample size is greater than or equal to 30. This you should remember. In a problem, when you see if your n value is greater than or equal to 30, immediately you should get to know, oh, it is a problem of large sample test. Then comes the small sample test or T test, where your n value is lesser than 30, where your size is lesser than 30. As I said, here it is further divided into, we are going to study 4 kinds of problem, and even here we are further studying 3 kinds of problem. Then after that we move towards the chi-square test. After that we move towards the chi-square test. So between 5th and 6th chapter there is a continuity. Between 5th and 6th chapter there is a continuity, because in 5th chapter normal distribution, and as well as we have seen what is T distribution, and also we have seen what is chi-square distribution. Here we are testing the, here we are not studying about distribution, here we are testing by setting a hypothesis. We are testing here large sample test where n is greater than 30, small sample test and chi-square test. And which is the first unit? First unit is statistical inference theory part. That was the first unit, and in first unit as a theory part there are lots of questions, and those questions are very important for 1 mark and 2 marks. From here you will get all the 5 marks problems. You will get 5 marks problems. Now in tomorrow's session we will discuss what is large sample test. With this we will wind up with today's topic. We will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.